In this video, we are going to add the room dependencies and also going to create our entity class. Therefore, I'm going to open my browser. I'll type room dependency in the search bar. Press enter. We click on this result, room Android developers. We go down here and we copy this dev room version 2.4.3 and the implementation and the annotation processor. So let's copy all of that. Let's copy that. Let's close our browser. Now let's create a new project. Choose empty activity. Click on next. I'm going to call it room. And I'm going to click on finish. Now our project is going to be created in a short moment. Alright, so now our project is created. Now let's add the dependencies in our app. And to add our dependencies in our app, we just click on the greater arrow in front of Gradle scripts. And make sure to click on this build Gradle model app room app, and we go here and we add our dependencies inside here, the dependencies. And now you may be wondering what those dependencies are and why you need to add them. Let's press Ctrl V to add them, and I'm going to explain. So by adding the dependencies here, we make available all the code which those dependencies, the room library contains. So you make available all of that code in your code by adding the dependencies here. This is how you make use of that code. So let's change this version here because it's saying that there is a new version. Now, after I added the dependencies, you need to click on sync now. So that is going to integrate the dependencies. It's going to make the code that the room provides available in our program, in our app. So now I'm going to go inside main activity. Let's click the build. Let's close the build.gradle. Let's right click on the com.example.room, and let's create a new Kotlin class file. Let's call this file node, and here I will type data class node. Press enter, and here I will type val title of type string. So now we are going to create our entity, and our entity represents our table in our database description, and the properties that we define now they represent the columns in our table. So we have a title, a description, and as you'll see, you can change the name of those columns. But for now, let's type here string and val age of type int. And we also need, as you know from the previous videos, we need a unique identifier for each row. So we need an ID, and to add the ID, I'm going to type here val ID inside the curly braces of the class data class node equals to 0, and I will annotate it. So I'll add an annotation at primary key in parentheses auto generate equals true, and that is going to make sure that every time we add a new row in our table, the ID is going to be incremented. Now we're not finished. Now we need to annotate our class in order for our class to be treated and when we compile our code to create our table, we need to annotate our class with entity, and we put parentheses, and here we're going to type table name, and I'm going to call this table name node underscore table. So now all of this code that we type here is going to create create the table, and is going to create the corresponding columns for our table: title, description, and age. Now those are the names of the columns: title, description, and age, but you can change them by putting at, and you type here column info, and you can put parentheses, and you type here name, and you can provide a different name like title node, So you can change the name of the columns in your table using this annotation if you want. You can do the same thing for the next ones. So this code that we have now here is going to create a table, and as you can see, we don't have to type any kind of code because we only use these annotations, and the code that is going to create the table is going to be generated by it's going to be generated at compile time by Rome. So now I'm going to end this video here and see you in the next video.